Let it be absolutely clear, there will be no return. Not now, not ever. On December 6, 2025, an official statement from Kensington Palace made that position unmistakable. The House of Windsor has spoken, and its message is cold, firm, and unflinching in what many are calling one of the most historic and unusually blunt royal statements ever released. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, issued what sources describe as a decisive and final verdict on Meghan Markle's future with the royal family. For the first time, the palace did more than criticise Meghan's repeated public actions. It issued a direct warning to major global media outlets, including BBC, CNN, and Sky News. The royal household accused them of enabling what it called a pattern of reckless defamation, orchestrated manipulation, and weaponised narrative distortion aimed directly at the monarchy. End quote. The 1,148-word statement released by the Office of the Prince of Wales named Meghan Markle directly, accusing her of launching a calculated campaign to damage both the personal and public integrity of Princess Catherine. It further alleged attempts to undermine the moral authority of the monarchy itself through coordinated misinformation spread across international platforms. This is not mere gossip. It is a betrayal of trust, truth, and dignity. The statement continued. It declared that the Duchess of Sussex had crossed a threshold from which return is neither welcome nor permissible. The statement followed months of escalating tension between Prince William and the Sussex camp, but palace sources say the final straw came on November 29th, when a now-debunked documentary segment aired on CNN International, alleging that Princess Catherine had silenced Meghan during mental health discussions in 2018 and 2019. That claim was directly contradicted by internal royal correspondence, which Kensington Palace later made available to BBC producers. "We have remained silent long enough," said an insider close to the prince. Now William is drawing a permanent line in the sand. The reaction was immediate. Thousands of angry viewers flooded both BBC and CNN with complaints, accusing the networks of selective editing and one-sided sensationalism. Within 72 hours, Kensington Palace took action. William's statement not only denounced the programme, but confirmed that Royal Legal Counsel had issued formal inquiries into CNN's editorial vetting process and begun reviewing legal options related to reputational defamation on an international scale. Palace insiders described it as a turning point. No more passive endurance, no more quiet tolerance. What reportedly stung the future king most was what royal aides described as a relentless and vindictive fixation by Meghan on his wife, Princess Catherine. Especially during Catherine's recent cancer recovery and careful return to public life, aides say any attempt to weaponize her illness for sympathy, leverage, or doubt crossed an unforgivable line. Such conduct is not only morally repugnant, it is dangerous. The statement read further. It noted that an internal investigation uncovered private texts from Meghan's former staff leaked to an unnamed American talk show producer. According to the palace, those messages distorted Catherine's words, framed her as emotionally cold, and misrepresented conversations from early 2020. While the messages were edited to appear legitimate, royal cybersecurity teams tracked inconsistencies and signs of metadata manipulation. One passage from William's statement quickly went viral. "My wife has endured the kind of cruelty no woman, no human, should ever face. She will not be your pawn, not for profit, not for press." The ripple effects were immediate. Within hours, the BBC suspended a planned re-airing of its 2021 special, The Crown Unspoken, which had relied heavily on anonymous interviews connected to Meghan's circle. Sky News issued an on-air correction, clarifying that several claims aired during a recent panel discussion were based on third-party speculation, not confirmed royal sources. CNN, however, refused to issue a retraction. In a December 7th statement, a CNN international spokesperson said, "We stand by our commitment to journalistic transparency and are open to dialogue with representatives from Kensington Palace." William's office took an even harder stance. The prince reportedly refused to take any calls from CNN or its representatives until a full editorial audit is completed behind closed doors. Palace insiders say this moment may mark a new precedent, where the royal family no longer simply rises above the fray, but actively defends its own narrative. William's words obliterated any remaining illusion that Meghan Markle might return to royal life in any capacity, formal or informal. Multiple family members have echoed that resolve. According to sources, Princess Anne privately stated, "There is no room for traitors in the Crown Circle." King Charles, while softer in tone, reportedly approved William's statement with firm and quiet endorsement, and even Prince Edward, typically neutral, has told aides the damage is simply too deep. Notably silent through all of this is Prince Harry. Despite receiving a personal copy of William's statement before its release, Harry has yet to issue a public response. Rumours suggest he attempted to call Catherine privately, calls that reportedly went unanswered. An insider close to Catherine shared, "She has nothing more to say. Her silence is no longer submission. It is sovereignty." At precisely 8:40 a.m., GMT on December 2nd, 2025, an anonymous leak landed in Sky News' editorial inbox. An audio file allegedly recorded at Frogmore Cottage in early 2020. The speaker was Meghan Markle, and the target was Catherine, Princess of Wales. In the 41-second clip, Meghan was heard referencing a private moment between herself and Catherine, twisting it to suggest emotional sabotage. What followed inside the Sky News studio was chaos, speculation, online firestorms, and a special segment titled "The Ice Veil: Is Princess Kate Truly Untouchable?" What viewers didn't know, until William's December 6th statement, was that the clip had been doctored. According to royal cybersecurity consultants, the audio had been spliced, cleaned, and altered using AI-assisted editing tools to distort Catherine's words. What people heard was not truth, it was character assassination. "It was the final betrayal," said a palace aide. William acted within hours. He summoned senior communications advisors and legal counsel to an emergency meeting at Kensington Palace. By sundown, the draft of the now famous 1,148-word declaration was complete, according to newly obtained internal documentation later reviewed by The Times. A former Arch staffer submitted a sealed memo to the palace last month detailing a 5-step strategic narrative rotation allegedly planned for winter 2025 into 2026. The steps included re-engaging American morning shows with emotional anecdotes, casting Meghan as a misunderstood mother and daughter-in-law, reviving mental health narratives tied to her 2019 pregnancy, reintroducing the "Kate Made Me Cry" storyline using partial documents and unnamed senior UK sources, securing airtime on outlets like CNN's Amanpour and The Guardian's long-form podcasts, and strategically coordinating reconciliatory rumours to pressure the royal family into a public olive branch. The goal was emotional whiplash, one palace official said bluntly. The strategy, according to insiders, was to soften the public with sympathy first, then strike hard with fresh accusations framed as long-suppressed truths finally coming to light. The leaked memo outlining this plan has since been verified by 2 independent former employees, one of whom went on record with The Telegraph. Meghan's legal team declined to comment, but issued a warning against what they called ongoing defamation and unsafe leaks. While William's fury was widely understood, insiders say Catherine remained composed, though visibly hurt, during a quiet public engagement. On December 4th, at St Mary's Children's Hospice, Catherine appeared wearing a single white lily pinned to her coat, a silent but powerful symbol of mourning, restraint, and dignity. The gesture spoke volumes without saying a word. She made no comment to the press. A Kensington Palace aide later revealed, "She does not wish to enter into this media theatre, but she will not remain silent if it endangers the monarchy's values." The aide added that Catherine fully supports William. Privately, however, sources say Catherine has requested to personally review all future media partnerships connected to the Royal Foundation. That review includes a temporary freeze on BBC collaborations until a full joint ethics assessment is completed. The fallout from William's declaration has rippled through the entire royal family. Princess Anne reportedly called William directly, telling him, "This is the strength our mother, Elizabeth II, would have respected. I'm with you." It comes as King Charles, currently battling advanced lymphoma, has scaled back public appearances but approved the full tone of William's statement during a private meeting on December 5th at Sandringham. Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, have declined all media requests, signalling unity through silence rather than soundbites. One of the most forceful responses came from Buckingham Palace's press office. In a rare move, it issued an immediate media blacklist update. Any outlet found amplifying edited, manipulated, or misleading content targeting active royal members will be barred from future press briefings. CNN's name was not mentioned, but sources say it sits squarely at the centre of the policy shift. If Meghan's strategy was to reclaim public sympathy, the Backlash tells a very different story. As of December 7th, more than 472,000 British citizens had signed a petition calling for tighter media regulations to prevent false royal narratives. Hashtags like #StandWithCatherine, #MeghanExiled, and #WilliamDidRight trended non-stop for 48 hours across the UK and Canada. Meghan's favourability rating in UK polling has dropped to just 14%. Its lowest point since 2020. Even in the United States, once considered her media stronghold, outlets such as The Atlantic and Morning Joe published opinion pieces urging a pause on what they called the Markle media complex. One headline from The Guardian stood out sharply: "When sympathy becomes strategy." Since William's declaration on December 6th, one royal voice has remained notably absent: Prince Harry. Despite the media storm, public demands for clarity, and mounting pressure from both British and American journalists, Harry has issued no statement, no social media posts, no official comment, no quiet leak. For a couple once known for carefully timed media drops, the silence is striking. Royal watchers are split. Some believe Harry is privately shattered, torn between loyalty to his wife and the brother who once shared his grief beneath the gates of Kensington after Diana's death. Others see the silence as complicity, or worse, a calculated move to appear blameless. One Kensington Palace insider didn't mince words. There is no neutral here. If he doesn't speak, he's protecting her. And if he's protecting her, he's not protecting Catherine. More damaging still, The Times reports that Harry was personally emailed a confidential reconciliation proposal by William in late October 2025. The message, seen by legal intermediaries, offered a private apology meeting in Windsor with no press. On one condition: Meghan could not attend. Harry never responded. After the doctored audio clip surfaced, royal officials launched Project Marble, a full-scale audit of digital threats, data access, and physical security surrounding senior royals. The focus is squarely on William, Catherine, and their children. As of December 7th, confirmed actions include the reassignment of 2 senior cybersecurity officers to a new counter-disinformation task force. All external mobile devices and cloud-sharing systems tied to previous joint ventures, such as Earthshot and Royal Foundation projects, are being secured or disconnected. Catherine's public schedule has also been revised to reduce advance notice, limiting ambush tactics and speculative framing. Perhaps most significant, Kensington Palace has severed all private communications with any Arkwell-affiliated contractors pending legal review. An MI5 adjacent source confirmed that high-grade surveillance software traced at least 3 unauthorized metadata pings from a US-based device linked to Arkwell's communications team during Catherine's 2025 visit to Belfast. While no charges have been filed, the internal concern is unmistakable. This is no longer a family dispute. It's a national institution under attack by a rogue PR machine, said a security advisor close to the Lord Chamberlain's office. On the evening of December 8th, a damning cache of internal emails from Arkwell's narrative team appeared anonymously on the dark web before being picked up by international whistleblower site Insider Torch. The emails, spanning February through November 2025, appear to show coordinated planning to reframe Catherine's past health struggles as weaponized empathy. They include instructions to float false rumors of rifts between Catherine and Queen Camilla, solicit anonymous quotes from gossip writers in New York, Toronto, and Sydney, and undermine William's trust rating ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth Summit. One email dated October 13th reads chillingly: "We need to take Kate down 2 notches. America is bored with perfection. We need something broken to fix." While the author has not been officially confirmed, the email signature matches an address previously linked to Meghan's now former Chief of Brand Strategy. The Royal Legal Office has since issued a formal digital forensics demand to the Arkwell Foundation, requesting device access and internal compliance reviews. California-based legal sources say Meghan could face defamation claims under UK law, civil reputation suits, and expanded permanent bans from royal grounds. A former Arkwell employee, now under protective NDA, described the internal atmosphere as toxic, desperate, and frantic. In the weeks before the leak, Meghan wanted Catherine to break, the source said. That was the plan. If Catherine cried publicly, the sympathy would flip back. But Catherine never cried. She stood firm, and William responded not with emotion, but with executive precision. As of today, Arkwell's main podcast sponsor has suspended all advertising. A petition calling for Meghan to be stripped of her Duchess of Sussex title has surpassed 1.3 million signatures. CNN and the BBC have both confirmed internal reviews of content influenced by royal-linked publicists. Buckingham Palace has also requested a formal audience with the UK's broadcast regulator to establish long-term press boundaries surrounding royal coverage. This is no longer just a scandal. It is a constitutional threshold, and Meghan has crossed it. And on December 8, 2025, just 3 days after William's historic royal statement, Meghan Markle made a surprise appearance in an exclusive sit-down interview with streaming platform Viva Plus, marketed unmistakably as her long-awaited truth moment. The interview was meant to repair Meghan's global image, but what actually aired left even her most loyal supporters stunned. Meghan appeared visibly anxious, repeatedly glancing down at prepared notes, and instead of offering clarity or restraint, she doubled down on every previous accusation. Rather than calming the storm, she poured gasoline on it. Among the most controversial remarks, Meghan described the royal system as a machine designed to erase women who shine too brightly. She insinuated that Catherine's popularity was nothing more than PR-manufactured perfection built on silence. She further claimed that powerful, unseen forces were manipulating William to protect what she called an outdated monarchy clinging to control. The backlash was immediate and explosive. Within hours, Rotten Tomatoes issued a viewer trust rating of just 14% for the interview. Hashtags like "She never apologised" surged across the UK, Canada, and Australia for 17 straight hours. More than 11 sponsors withdrew from the Viva Plus platform almost overnight. Former Obama advisor Valerie Simons weighed in bluntly on social media, writing, "This is no longer about race or feminism. This is about one woman's refusal to be accountable." The comment went viral, reflecting a growing sentiment across political and cultural lines. Viewers reacted sharply to Meghan's facial expressions during Catherine-related segments. Smirks, eye rolls, and sarcastic tones sparked widespread condemnation, even among previously neutral audiences. One viral comment on X read, "I used to believe her, not anymore. You don't speak like that about a cancer survivor." It gained more than 88,000 upvotes in hours. Behind the scenes, Hollywood has begun quietly backing away. According to Deadline, several major agencies have paused or terminated representation. WME confirmed it is no longer working with Meghan. Sunbird Studios removed her proposed 2026 wellness docuseries from its development slate without public explanation. Netflix, already battered by backlash from Harry and Meghan, Volume 2, has reportedly cancelled all future non-fiction collaborations tied to Archewell. A senior streaming producer, speaking anonymously, said, "You can't sell betrayal as entertainment forever. At some point it becomes reputation suicide." Meghan's once powerful network of celebrity defenders, including Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, and Serena Williams, has remained publicly silent despite outreach. Multiple Hollywood stylists and PR executives have reportedly blacklisted Meghan, citing brand risk toxicity. Internally, the phrase Meghan fatigue is now being used across marketing teams in Los Angeles. Legal experts warn that Meghan's latest media appearances could carry serious consequences. William's legal team has begun assembling libel-related evidence. If civil action proceeds under UK law and defamation is established, Meghan could face fines up to £250,000 per publication, restrictions on UK travel access, and potential seizure of assets tied to royal-linked endorsements in California. Archewell's financial situation is also showing strain. Public records indicate a 24% drop in annual donations since early 2025. 2 board members resigned following the November PR audit, and increased IRS scrutiny followed a misreported media expense claim. An insider revealed Archewell has already laid off 8 staff members and paused its children's mental health initiative due to funding gaps. She built her empire on exposure, said a former Archewell employee, but now the spotlight is burning everything down. As Meghan falters publicly, the royal family is closing ranks behind William. Princess Anne issued a rare quote to The Telegraph, calling William's actions long overdue, restrained and correct. King Charles, despite ongoing health challenges, reportedly gave his full constitutional blessing to William's declaration. Queen Camilla has kept an unusually low profile. No interviews, no statements, no public appearances. One royal aide quietly noted, "Camilla knows better than to stand against a public tide. She's watching and waiting." Even Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, have cancelled all joint virtual appearances linked to Meghan-affiliated charities within palace networks. A renewed clarity has taken hold. This is no longer a family feud, it is a royal preservation campaign. The question hanging over everything now is simple. Will Meghan fight in court or disappear from public life? Sources close to her legal team suggest she is considering a slander countersuit under US jurisdiction, claiming William's statement caused intentional emotional distress and public endangerment. Legal analysts warn that approach is risky. Royal legal precedents are extensive, well-documented and rarely overturned. British public approval for Meghan has fallen to just 7% in recent UK polling. Even US media has begun shifting tone. In a striking moment, Anderson Cooper opened his broadcast asking, "Has the Duchess lost the public forever, and has she lost her crown of sympathy?" If Meghan hoped to turn the tide, she miscalculated badly less than a week after William's thunderous declaration. Prince Harry finally broke his silence. In a 92-second video posted to the Sussex Foundation website, his tone was sharp and unfiltered. "This isn't about protecting anyone," Harry said directly into the camera. "This is about silencing my wife." He added that William's message was not royal, it was personal, and it will not go unanswered. But Harry made a critical error. He included a veiled warning. "Those in glass castles shouldn't throw stones." The phrase was immediately interpreted by many as a reference to Catherine, and condemnation followed instantly. Sky News labelled the video emotionally charged but tactically disastrous. Piers Morgan reacted in real time, asking, "Is Harry threatening Catherine now? Is that what this has become?" Within 2 hours, Chastened Protect Catherine trended across the UK and Canada. A YouGov flash poll showed 83% of UK respondents believed Harry's statement was unjustified. In the United States, 65% of those polled said they would no longer support projects tied to the Sussex brand. Even more damaging, several of Harry's former military colleagues issued a statement. Major Giles Tennant, who served alongside him in Afghanistan, said, "We respected Captain Wales. This isn't that man anymore." Behind the scenes, Clarence House has activated what insiders call Operation Iron Quill, a coordinated legal and reputational defence strategy. The effort is led by Sir Dominic Caldwell, Royal Chief Counsel, alongside Lady Evelyn Norbridge, former head of BBC Compliance, Royal Media Advisor Baris El Hassan, and retired High Court Judge Elaine Charters. Their mission is aggressive but controlled. File formal complaints against CNN and Viva Plus for distributing defamatory content. Demand retractions under UK press law. Initiate pre-action defamation protocols tied directly to Meghan's interview. Pressure US platforms through international cooperation to demonetize content that incites hostility toward active royal figures. One insider called it the strongest legal posture the modern monarchy has taken since the phone hacking scandals of 2011. William has gone further, requesting the Privy Council review permanent bans on Sussex-linked PR firms from future royal media contracts. "This isn't vengeance," William reportedly told aides. "This is containment. This is duty." And while headlines continue to swirl around the fractured relationship between William and Harry, the world is waiting for one voice, Catherine, Princess of Wales. So far, she has remained silent, but according to Kensington Palace sources, a statement is now being drafted. Her first public words since the media attacks reignited in early November. The statement is expected to be released exactly 10 months after her cancer diagnosis was publicly disclosed. It will focus on truth, dignity, and public accountability, not retaliation. Catherine's team has confirmed the involvement of former BBC royal editor Laura Smythe as editorial advisor, according to a palace source. This is not about defending herself. This is about defending the very idea of what royal women stand for. And she will say it clearly, without anger, without victimhood, without compromise. Palace insiders confirm early drafts reportedly include moving references to her children's emotional well-being, her decades of public service, and the quiet, unwavering strength of royal women before her: Elizabeth, Diana, and Anne. The release will be unprecedented. Accompanying it is a black-and-white portrait by Annie Leibovitz, a global press embargo coordinated across 15 time zones, and private briefings to women's cancer foundations and children's mental health NGOs. The aim: connect the personal with the universal. Expectations are sky-high, yet Catherine remains in total control. Remarkably, William has not read the final draft, by Catherine's choice. This is her voice and hers alone. A palace source revealed she knows exactly what it will cost and exactly what it will repair. Even beyond Britain, world leaders are weighing in. Canadian Prime Minister Melanie Joly praised the royal family's restraint and clarity, saying, "Public trust matters." Australian Senate leader Jacinta Cale commented, "William has shown that monarchy in the 21st century is not about silence, it's about leadership." The Vatican issued a rare note through Cardinal Leone, applauding those who absorb injustice without surrendering their grace. Princess Anne took over 3 official events originally assigned to Catherine, demonstrating solidarity. Lady Louise Windsor made a surprise appearance at a women's college in Edinburgh, telling students, "You don't have to speak first, but when you do, make it count." Meanwhile, Queen Camilla remained absent from the public for the 4th consecutive week, her silence speaking volumes. At exactly 9 a.m. GMT, Kensington Palace released the long-awaited statement from Catherine, Princess of Wales. Titled simply "To Every Woman Who Has Been Misunderstood," it ran just 384 words, but silenced the noise louder than any scandal ever could. The tone was calm, empathetic, and unwavering. The statement began not with anger, but with empathy. "I've learned that silence is sometimes protection, not just of oneself, but of others. But today I choose to speak, not to defend, but to honour those who cannot." Catherine addressed the pain, the intense public scrutiny during illness, the emotional toll on her children as falsehoods filled daily headlines, and her steadfast belief that public service must outlast private hurt. She did not name Meghan. She did not accuse. Instead, she closed with powerful clarity. "I will continue to walk with love, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. I am the daughter of a mother who raised me in grace. I am the mother of a daughter I want to raise with strength, and I am the wife of a man who has chosen to lead, not react. That is enough." Within 17 minutes, the post surpassed 12 million views on official platforms. BBC, CNN, and Sky News all aired it live, cutting regular programming. The accompanying black-and-white photograph by Annie Leibovitz showed Catherine standing alone on Windsor Castle's balcony, wrapped in a simple wool coat, her left hand resting over her heart, wearing no makeup, no jewellery except her wedding band. Observers noted the absence of royal symbols. It emphasised emotional truth over institutional power. The location, Windsor rather than Buckingham, hinted at her grounding in tradition, not spectacle. The dawn lighting created what critics hailed as a modern Queen Elizabeth. Fashion and royal blogs worldwide called it the most powerful royal image of the decade. The response was immediate and thunderous. "We Stand With Catherine" trended in 29 countries. Over 215 global media outlets republished the letter within 6 hours. A YouGov overnight poll showed 92% of UK respondents described her statement as dignified and presidential. Parliament members and Prime Minister Emma Brayton praised the future Queen's leadership. Even outlets traditionally sympathetic to Meghan shifted tone. The New York Times called it the triumph of composure over chaos. Time magazine ran a cover titled, "The Queen, the World Chose." Oprah Winfrey released a personal video that evening saying, "Sometimes we get it wrong. When we do, we listen, we learn, and we say thank you, Catherine, for your grace." At 8:10 p.m. UK time, Meghan made a final attempt, releasing a pre-recorded podcast episode titled My Truth Has No Crown on Archewell Channel, but it was immediately ratioed, with 72% dislikes within 3 hours. Spotify removed it from trending listings by midnight. CNN, previously supportive, refused to air clips, citing inflammatory and unverifiable claims. Meghan tried to reclaim the narrative, but the world had moved on. One commenter on YouTube summed it up perfectly. Catherine wrote a letter. Meghan recorded a tantrum. That's the difference. By the next day, former Sussex brand sponsors began pulling out, citing reputational misalignment. For the first time in 8 months, King Charles, William, Catherine, Anne, Edward, and Lady Louise Windsor appeared together at St. George's Chapel for a special Christmas charity concert. 3 front-row seats, previously reserved for absent members, remained empty, unlabelled, unmentioned, yet unmistakably symbolic. When Catherine entered the chapel, the audience rose, not out of protocol, but out of respect. As the choir sang Silent Night, William reached over and held her hand, a rare public gesture from heir to the throne. Princess Anne told reporters, "She didn't fight. She stood. That's what we're taught to do." Finally, the Royal Household Press Office issued one last note to global media. There will be no further comment on the matter of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The palace considers the issue closed. And so, the Meghan Markle chapter in the House of Windsor came to a quiet, irrevocable end. No exile, no drama, no ceremony, just 3 empty chairs and 1 full heart. Steady, silent, royal. If you were moved by Catherine's grace, hit like, subscribe, share this video and drop a comment below. Let the world know whose leadership inspires you.